Hello, it's Gem Games here once again, and welcome to this new Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. In this episode I will show you how to create this light switch, which you can actually use for other things than light also. But like this, you can click it and it will turn off the light. You can click it again and the light will be back on. So yeah, let's get started. First, you want to go to the link in the description that takes you to my Google Drive, and you want to download this Lightswitch folder. And after that, you want to go to the models, and we want to import the Lightswitch folder. And import all, we don't have to change anything here. Import. And now you should have the material with all the textures set. Okay, now what we want to do, we want to go actually to the interfaces. And here we want to create a new blueprint interface. So blueprints and blueprint interface, and let's call this electricity. And I had my caps lock on, so let's try again. Electricity. Okay, let's open it. And here we have this default function. Let's call it activate. And let's create another function. Let's call it deactivate. Okay, simple as that. We don't have to change anything here. So let's compile, let's save, let's close this. And actually we have 11 unsaved things, so let's save all quickly. So now let's go to the blueprints and let's go to the interactable. And here we have this door. We can actually duplicate that. And let's call it switch. Okay, let's open it. Move it next to the third person map. And here on the switch blueprint, let's go to the viewport and let's go close to the door, which we want to change now. So we have this door here. So what we want to do, let's first get the interaction icon and all the other interaction things, and let's move them under the default scene root. So interaction collision. Actually, stop collision, we can remove that. Okay. And also let's move the door under the default scene root and let's delete the hinge. So we only have now the door frame, interaction icon show collision, and interaction collision. Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to select our door frame. Let's call this light switch frame. Okay. Now let's change the static mesh to the light switch frame, of course. And the material will be the material 001. Okay, now let's reset the rotation also. Now you can see it there. Now let's select our door. And on the door, let's change the mesh to light switch. And the material will be material, where is it? Material 001. Okay, this one. So yeah, now let's also reset the location and rotation. Now you can see it here. Okay, now let's rename this to be light switch. Switch. I think this sounds a little bit stupid because it's light switch, but yeah, it doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want. Okay, now let's go a little bit closer here. What we want to do, we want to actually disable this snapping, and we want to move this a little bit here to around here. Yeah, I will make it minus 0.5. Okay, so it's a little bit out from the frame. Okay, and now I want to select the interaction icon. I want to reset all the these locations and rotations. And I actually think I want to set it a little bit upwards. So I will set it to around 4. So it's here. Okay. And now the interaction collision also at the wrong location. So let's reset the location and rotation. And now you can see it here. And I think I actually want to make it a little bit bigger. So I will set this sphere radius to 12. Or maybe, yeah, 12 is good. Even maybe 10. No, let's leave it to 12. Okay. And also, interaction icon show collision. It should be at the right position because it's under the interaction icon. Okay, so now we have everything set here. So let's compile, let's save all, and we have some problems now, but let's go to the event graph. Okay, so what we want to do here, we can delete everything here. So we only have the begin play and the event interact. Now we can delete the cancelled variable. Also opening time, we don't need that here. Re-interactable, we don't need it, and is open. We can actually leave this is open here, and we can just call it switch on, because we will need that variable. And also what we want to do, we want to add a new variable, which will be called target actors. And the variable type will be actor. Let's scroll down. So object types actor object reference, this blue one. Now we want to change this to be an array, and we want to make it instance editable and expose on spawn. So we can on the level like select specific actors that this will activate. Okay, compile and save. Yes. So the next thing, what we want to do here on the event interact, let's delete this open close thing. And under here, let's create a new custom event. Let's call this switch, like that. Now, here on the event interact, let's call it switch. Okay. Now we can create the code. So let's get the switch on variable under here. Let's get from it a not boolean. So we're checking if the switch is not on. Then let's add a branch. So P and left click. And then let's create a timeline. Let's call this switch TL or whatever. And let's connect the true to the play from the start and false to the reverse from end. Because if the switch is not on, we will play it from the start. We will make it on. And if it is, we will reverse it from the end. So yeah. Now let's open the switch timeline. Let's change the length to 0.1. Let's add a flow track with a sorry about that. Key on the 0, 0 mark, so time 0, value 0, and another key on the time 0.1 and value 1. So it looks like this. Yeah. Compile, save, and let's close the timeline. And now what we want to do. We want to get our light switch, so the actual switch or button or whatever. So let's set relative rotation from the update like this. Now let's split the new rotation. And now let's quickly go to the viewport so we can see what we want to change here or rotate. Let's select the light switch. Let's press E so we can rotate. And let's make the rotation snapping disabled. And now we want to check how much we want to rotate it. So it's on the 0. Now when we rotate it, I think we want to rotate it like to positive 20 on the Y. Okay, so Control set and let's go back. Now we know the values. Now we want to change the Y value. So we want to get from here a lerp node. And we want to get the new track 0 to the alpha. And you can also name the track here always be like alpha if you want, but I always forget it. So yeah, it doesn't matter, but just looks a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. So the values that we want to lerp, the A will be 0 and B will be positive or yeah, positive 20. So positive 20 here. Okay, and now we want to get from the direction and we want to switch on E timeline direction and we want to switch on finished like this. And what we want to do next will be we created the electricity blueprint interface. So now we should be able to call those activate and deactivate. So sorry, actually, we don't want to do it that way. I'm stupid. I am stupid. So what we want to do next, because we made these target actors an array, so we can add multiple actors that we can turn on and off and so on. So we'll have to do it a little bit differently. So let's leave this here and let's go under here and let's create another custom event. And let's call this first activate. And also under here, let's create custom event. Let's call this deactivate. Okay, I mean, and here on the activate, what we want to do, we want to get the target actors list or array, and we want to for each loop. So we will run through the whole list. Now from the array element, we can call the activate electricity activate. So it will basically call this for the whole list. And on completed, we want to set the switch on and also can interact true, like this. Now we can copy all this, paste it under here. If I can get it aligned, it's good enough. And now let's change this activate to deactivate, like that. And also under here, switch off. So switch on, false. So yeah, we will activate all them and turn the switch on and can interact back to true. Here we will deactivate all them, turn the switch off, so on and false, and make the can interact true again. Now here we want to call these custom events. So on the forward we want to call the activate, and now you want to check, you don't want to call the electricity activate, you want to call the function here. And also here you want to call the deactivate function, not the electricity. Simple as that. So yeah, now let's compile, let's save, And let's go to third person map. Now we want to open the ceiling light because we want to add the interface here. So let's go to the class settings, and here on inherited interfaces, we want to search for the electricity. Okay, simple as that. So here now we have actually few ways of doing this. So now that we have the interfaces, we can add the activate event, also the deactivate event here. Okay, and I for some reason want to move these up here. I don't know why. And we could just call the, or like set this variable here like true here and false here, and call the switch. But there would be one little problem that I can actually show you. So let's do it this way first. So let's compile, save, and let's go to the level. Let's go inside here. And let's add the switch to here. Around here, I think. Yeah, we have to rotate it. Minus or positive 180, it shouldn't matter. Now the height, I want to set it 100 on this set. 1311 on the X. Okay, now this is lagging so much. Yeah, that's... Is it touching the wall? I think it's actually a little bit in the air. So 1310.75, something like that. So it's basically on the wall. And this way should I make this like... No. That's too far. So let's make it 1150. You just basically want to put it to some nice position. Okay. Now here, actually, one more thing here. Let's go to the switch and let's change this interaction text default value to light switch, something like that. Compile, save, and let's go back to the level. Now it says light switch here. You can change it here if you want, but yeah. And interact will be true. Now we can select the target actors. So we have this light here on the roof, which is called ceiling light. And when we select this and we add element here, now we have this index 0. We can click on here and we can get the ceiling light. Okay, so now what it does. So let's save, let's play. Now when we go inside here and we click on this, nothing will first happen. That's the problem that I was talking about. But when we click again, light will turn off, turn on, turn off. And why did it not work the first time? Was because we already have set this light to be on. Because the way we made it, it will try to turn it on the first time. If it's already on, it will not work. But if we make it false, so it's turned off, and we turn on the light, it will work the first time. See? But how can we make it so it doesn't matter if it's already on or off? We can quickly create this little code here on the ceiling light, which will be like, let's move this a little bit further. Let's add a branch here, connect both of these to the same branch, and we want to just check if it's already on. And if it is on, let's connect it to here and let's set this to false. So it will turn it off. And if it's not on, we want to turn it on. Now let's put this here. So now it will check if it's on. If it is, it will turn it off. If it's not, it will turn it on. Like that. Compile, save. So now, even if we make this light true, so it's on the start. Now if we go to there, click here, it will work the first time. It will work no matter if it's on or off at the beginning. So I will show you also this. So if it's off, it will work the same way. And also, I will quickly make this on so we can see something here. Okay, my engine glitched, but we made the target actors we make this an array, so you can add how many ever elements here you want. So you can add more elements if you have more lights. So one switch can control like as many lights or things that you want. So yeah, but I actually think that was all for this video. If you liked what you saw, please click the like button and subscribe for more. And yeah, hope you have a great day and see you in the next one. Bye.